Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Wrestling Experience. I am your host, Cody Davis, and tonight we'll be reviewing the AEW Dynamite on TNT. This is the first time I'm doing it on a laptop at my house. This is my setup. Of course, got the Ico Pro banner behind me. Ico Pro is the official first sponsor of Sports and Wrestling Experience. Ico Pro, for everybody who cares for their body, check out Ico Pro supplements at icopro.com or check out GNC for all your supplement needs. Got a new setup here. Got the, of course, got the graphics. I'm a huge LSU fan out in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, so got the LSU helmet out. Mean Gene Okerlund, arguably my favorite. In the wrestling business, Mean Gene is the man. I got to meet him 2 years ago at a WrestleCon in New Orleans. He didn't wrestle, but he's my favorite wrestling character that ever of all time. And Val Venus, my Val Venus action figure. We'll talk more about Val down the road. To open up, Dynamite was a pretty good match with the American Nightmare Cody and Joey Janela, or if you ask Jim Cornette, Jelly Nutella, or what was the other one? He's got so many. But pretty good match. I'm not the biggest Joey Janela guy. He is like, I am a huge Jim Cornette guy, and I'll quote him a lot on the show and next shows. He's an outlaw mud show wrestler. He's an independent guy that's on national TV, and good for him. Tony Khan's paying these guys a lot of money, and good for him. Obviously, he's got the respect from Cody and Kenny Omega and the Bucks and all them, so good for him. They had a pretty good match. I'd rather not see these matches go so long on TNT. It makes. I understand that they want to make these guys look really good, Cody, Omega, the Bucks, but now it's time for them to basically like take their spots into the main event roles. I know they don't want to be selfish, but I'd much rather see. I don't want to see Cody Rhodes and Joey Janela having like a 15-20 minute match on TV. That's just my opinion. Let's see. The next match was Nyla Rose and Kenzie Page. Nyla Rose, to me, she's not my favorite, and we're going to skip that match. The best part of the show, I am an MJF fan, hence the scarves. These are not Burberry scarves. I ordered my Burberry scarf actually this morning. That'll be coming in next week. And if anyone didn't see the shirt, The Revolting Blob. Billy Madison is my favorite movie of all time. That'll never change. Billy Madison and Superbad, I can quote those movies all day and night. Revolting Blob was Principal Anderson. That was Billy's president in elementary school. He was the one that wrote the Valentine's heart to Billy and came out at the end as the Revolting Blob to save everyone. And I think he killed somebody. I think he was on the cover of a magazine, and they found out. And yeah, Revolting Blob. Pro Wrestling Tees had a big sale week or two, and I got a few shirts for like $10, so it's pretty cool. Back to MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. His promo was absolute gold. The notes I took, he comes out saying, "I'm the guy," but no one wants to admit it. You know, he wants to be the guy. He's the next, younger talent claiming to be the next big thing. He was saying they're the next big thing, even though they're almost 30 years old. He's 24, which makes him the youngest, fastest rising star. And he said that no one wants to admit it, but that he's the guy. And he's, of course, making fun of all the fans, saying that he's not Flair, he's not Piper, he's not The Rock. Of course he's not. He's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He's his own individual guy. And no, he's not any of them. He's not supposed to be. But I'll argue this till the cows come home. Maxwell Jacob Friedman at 24 years old, compared to The Rock at 24 years old, I'll put MJF at 24 than The Rock. Will he be The Rock? Will he be Dwayne Johnson? Will he be like a billionaire in 20 years like The Rock? We'll see. But I'm the biggest MJF guy that you'll see on the internet. I don't know how many people are big fans of him in the wrestling Twitter world, on YouTube, in the world of pro wrestling, but you won't find a bigger fan of MJF than right here in Denham Springs, Louisiana, where I'm at right now. Yeah, the best part about the promo is whenever he's talking, he stands up, like he's kissing his ring and all that stuff, and then those guys switch the chairs. They go from a normal chair to like a throne because he's going to take over his throne because I'm better than you and you know it. Absolute gold. Randy Orton versus Jon Moxley. Now, Frankie Kazarian is literally Randy Orton's twin brother. The match that he had with Moxley was actually a pretty good match. Moxley's still going out through the fans, even though there are no fans at Daly's place. Thank God for Daly's place. It's literally right next door to the Jacksonville Jaguars football stadium. I guess it's like a convention center type. I don't know what I've never been. I'd love to go. It's a sweet outdoor venue that they got that they can run shows from, kind of like WWE in the Performance Center. Performance Center, the host of WrestleMania 36. I wanted to go to Tampa so bad, and I was going, but that's another story. Kazarian and Moxley had a really good match. I thought Moxley's still your champion. And at the end, Dark Order came out to interfere, and Brody Lee comes out with a chair, hitting Christopher Daniels in the head with a chair, and comes out and cuts a promo on Moxley, and I'm guessing potentially it could be them fighting for the AEW Championship. I guess we'll see. Le Sex Gods, Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara is absolutely fantastic. At first, I read that he spent $10,000 on that panda head. I think it was the first Dynamite at the beginning, the debut back in October in Washington D.C. He loves pandas. That's his thing. So he comes out, and I heard an interview with him, and they were asking about the panda head, and he said he paid $10,000. But Chris Jericho has taken him under his wing, and he was saying how, it's all about getting yourself over, blah blah blah. Spend money now to make it later. So he pays $10,000 for this big panda head, and you ask any financial person, that's stupid. But hey, that $10,000 is going to make him more and more money as his career goes. Ladies and gentlemen, sports and wrestling experience, like it says right there. Experience with an X. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SWX Podcast. Experience is with an X. This is the beginning of what is going to be a fantastic thing for me, a project that I've thought about for years. We're not just covering wrestling here. We'll be talking about sports. We'll be talking about local sports. For me, local is the LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and we'll do national. And take it as one day at a time, and it's going to be, I think, I don't know, I got big hopes for this thing. I really do. Main event, Le Sex Guys, like I said, Sammy Guevara and Le Champion, Chris Jericho. If you saw my first show last week, I was hyping Chris Jericho. I had his action figure out. He is one of my favorites of all time. I can go on and on about him. Versus Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy. They went all over the place. They went outside. They went outside the ring. There were ice machines, garbage cans, no Dippin' Dots, unfortunately. That would have been great. By God, the Dippin' Dots, by God! And I got a lot to say, but I'm kind of stuffy today, and I'm about to sneeze, so I'm trying not to. They're going all over the place. Chris Jericho's hitting Matt Hardy with a huge bag of ice. The ice explodes. I put on Twitter, I was like, I still don't know why I love wrestling, but this is one of the many reasons why I do. This is fantastic. They're all over the place. Kenny Omega is doing moonsaults off of electrical equipment. They end up in the Jacksonville Jaguars football stadium. And Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara both pin Kenny Omega for the 1, 2, 3. and a beautiful ending to the match. They are in the Jacksonville Jaguars football stadium, right there, I guess, where the team comes out or one of the entrances, and you see Inner Circle on the scoreboard, and they're all throwing up the middle finger to close the show. I was hoping for some pyro. That'd have been fantastic. A little final touch to the end, but we didn't get that. Like I said, guys, the first video I did like a 100-minute video on Facebook Live. We're not doing that tonight. Like I said, my nose, I'm about to sneeze everywhere, and this is, I guess, the first review show that I've done, and you know, rookie mistakes, but we're having a good time over here. I am loving this. This is something I've always wanted to do. Not YouTube shows covering wrestling, but just speaking, getting my voice out there, and like I said, this is a long time coming for myself, and we're gonna have a good time doing it. Big shout out to Mr. Kennedy 504 on Twitter. The guy, I guess him right there, that guy. Big shout out to him. That's me right there. This is from WrestleMania 34. And the guy in the middle, of course he's in the middle because we're not going to go there. It's another show. At Epic Mikey C on Twitter. That is Michael Campana all the way from Buffalo, New York. Michael Campana, what's up, man? I think that's going to do it for tonight here in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Sports and wrestling experience covering AEW Dynamite tonight on May 6th of 2020. I'm going to be putting a lot of content out. Like I said, this page debuted yesterday. Got like 60 views on the first few things I did. I did some stuff out at on LSU's campus because it's like 15 minutes away from my house, and just going to be having fun during this whole quarantine thing. There's nothing else to do. Trying to get back to work when I can, when they let us. So in the meantime, I'll be doing this, be putting a lot of effort into it. I told someone earlier, this is basically my baby since I have no children. So like I said, we'll be exiting tonight, and I just want to tell Carmen Electra, Carmen, if you're listening, I want just to let you know that I love you, and I hope to see you soon. So that's it, guys. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.